Good to go.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. Now we're live.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. And anyone that needs help can go elsewhere because we are not capable of coming to your rescue.
Yeah, unfortunately not. And who's Denzel again?
Who's Queen Latifah? No one.
Nobody. We're talking about the real Equalizer here.
Yes. Although I have heard good things about Equalizer 3 coming up, so.
Okay.
But if, imagine if Edward Woodward had the moves that Denzel Washington had in the first film.
Edward didn't need the moves. He had the voice. He had the hardness. You know, he just would give the death stare, and that was enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes, the death stare, because that. I just seem to remember a spoof of the Equalizer. I can't remember what it was on, though, where a lot of New York gang members were coming up to him, this actor that's portraying Edward Woodward, and then he was like reciting Shakespeare back while they were aiming their guns and going to shoot him. And
I've never seen that.
I don't know. It might have been something I dreamt.
Okay.
But here we go. Yes, we're talking about 1985's Equalizer. So what is that? 38
years, isn't it?
38 years, bloody hell. And it ran for 4 seasons. So that's not bad for them.
I don't think it could have really gone on any further. I think it's sort of stayed as long as it should have done. I mean, a season 5 probably wasn't really needed because it was very much an episode of the week type of show. There wasn't really sort of any ongoing stories. I mean, there was a few nuggets in there of like recurring villains or sort of recurring roles or, you know, stories that would connect, but it wasn't really that type of show for that. It was basically every episode was its own story.
Yeah, that's what
that was the
so well.
Yeah.
New shows could learn a bit from that.
I think they should, because you can probably skip over quite a few of these episodes and it won't make any difference at all. You can just pick any one you want and you're going to be in for a good time.
Yeah, they are proper thrillers. I was very surprised at how the standards held up for this 38 years.
Yes, there's a lot of good storytelling here with a good production crew. New York has never looked better, I think.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
They filmed in New York the whole time, which...
Pretty much, yeah. I think the only sort of set designs they had was probably McCall's apartment, and I think that was it.
That was, now you say that, that is pretty much the only place they stayed at more than once.
Yeah, and his Jag as well. Well, it was a different Jag each year. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, what colour is it? Because I remember it as a green Jag.
No, it's a black Jag, yes.
It's a black Jag, isn't it?
Yes. And I think each year he got a brand new one, like the latest model. And I think by the 4th season, I think the Jag did actually look a little bit different to the previous ones. Yeah. But, you know, here in the UK, we like to drive Jags. You know, it was the perfect car for him.
Is he British, though? The character?
Well, the character, it's never established that he's British. I mean, you hear his accent, you know, it's Edward. But it was never established that he was born in England. You know, it was never, he's just got that accent and that's who he is. Yeah.
Yeah, because people would take the piss out of his accent and then he wouldn't respond or anything to it. It was just, he's a spy.
Yeah.
But apparently the pilot episode, he sort of has an American accent. And then
you can hear a little bit, but it's not very noticeable. Yeah. I think
as soon as that one, he's got his English plum.
Yeah, I think everyone was I think they sort of said to him, maybe just try it, and if we feel it doesn't work, then go back to how you normally speak. I mean, I suppose that's what the pilot was for, just to see, could he sound like this? Could he do his voice in a certain way? But then they realised, no, just let Edward talk how he should do, and it'll work. Yeah.
Well, yes, because what is it? Is it second season or first season where the gangs have taken over the street and he just talks them out of it? Unlike Death Wish 3 that came out a couple of years ago, where he mows them down.
Yeah, I mean, you can say Death Wish was probably a little bit of inspiration. The sort of, older guy going up against, nasty villains. You know, that was probably where the inspiration might have come from. And, Liam Neeson has sort of gone on to sort of, keep that trend going. But Edward was one of these guys that had this trend, to an absolute T. And, he was really the ultimate TV hard man, I would say. I would say, yeah.
Yeah, because he barely did anything physical.
I mean, there was the odd punch, but his threats were more of, breaking a hand or sort of, a firm grip or just a quick sort of, slap like that, or, he was very swift and fast, and then he would use his dialogue to, scare the bejesus out of all the bad guys. Yeah. Yeah.
With that accent, you got to listen.
You've got to listen. Yeah. It was just like, because I think most of the information that I know about the Equalizer was actually told on Channel 4's top 10s that they did a few years ago. And in one episode, it was top 10 TV hard men. And they did the usual suspects, Grant Mitchell, DCI Burnside, and Mr. T. But Edward came in at number 1. And they rated that he was the hardest man on television. Yeah.
Of course he
is. Of course he is. Yeah. We're the best at it.
Yeah. Hey, Mouse of the 80s, how are you?
Good evening.
Yes. Good evening to you, sir.
We are well.
Dr. Impossible. I was reading the other week about the series, and Michael Sloan, who co-created the series with Universal Executive, whose name escapes me.
Yeah.
Sloan only did the blinking pilot.
He did, yeah. He was responsible for creating it and making sure the pilot got off the ground, but he was never involved in the show. It was explained on the retrospective that's on one of these DVDs. I mean, we'll talk about that as it goes. But yeah, he was basically the one to sort of get it off the ground and was very keen to get Edward on board because the executives at Universal were like, I'm sorry, who? Who's this guy, Because he'd seen
from The Wicker Man. Who?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was really what he was famous for. But in America at this time, Edward wasn't really known by anybody in America. And Michael Sloan had seen him in Callahan, which is a very fondly remembered British series. I don't know if you ever saw
I never
Callahan.
saw that.
Yeah. And he sort of saw this and thought, this is the character that McCall, I think McCall could be this guy. Yeah. And he wanted him. And it paid off.
Yeah, in spades. Because
yeah.
Oh, hang on. Nos is here. Evening, Nos. He knows very little about the show. Yes. We're here to educate the young people.
Happy to educate, yes.
Go watch the show instead of this. You do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
So, you've got the DVDs there, I see. So,
yes, all 4 seasons. Season 1, 2, 3, and 4. All pretty much the same cases. I mean, these are nice cases from Fabulous Films. These are still available. You can get them through the website, through Amazon, or you can buy them all as one pack. And no bonus features except for the last one where there's a retrospective. It's about 44 minutes long.
Yeah,
and there's interviews with Common Luck, who was a co-executive producer, Robert Isley, who was another supervising producer, and also interviews with, I forget his name, can't pronounce it, William
Zansbrug, yeah.
That's it.
The bad guy from Karate Kid.
Yes, he played Scott McCall. He played McCall's son.
Yeah.
And also the actor who played Mickey Kosmeyer. Keith Zara Badjik. I can't.
You're just embarrassing yourself now.
I'm sorry. But Mickey Kosmeyer, one of his yeah.
He was the what was it? I watched obviously watched the series when it came out, but then I rewatched it about 10 years ago or whatever, and then I realized because I must have seen The Dark Knight before I saw that, and then realized he's one of the cops in The Dark Knight.
He is in that, yes, yeah. And he talks on that retrospective quite fondly of Edward and said, it was a very sort of good role for him. And, Mickey was one of those sort of associates or lieutenants that McCall had that he needed to call upon. If he needs a favor, go to Mickey. But also he had other people as well. It wasn't just a one-man show.
It wasn't just a whole team every time, was it? It was just whoever was useful at that time.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's have a look. Dr. Impossible. Have Gun Will Travel was the principal driver for the concept. How I know that, though, was through Edward Woodward's interview he gave on the show on Thames in 1990.
Yeah. Yeah. By that stage, the show would have finished at that point.
Yeah. It was suddenly finished, wasn't it? Because they said they were expecting a season 5 and then just suddenly sold. Yes. I think it was Angela Lansbury's Murder, She Wrote. Didn't they mention in that documentary that stole their thunder?
Yeah, they did. Basically, they wanted to keep that going, and they put all their eggs in that basket to keep it going. But poor old Edward couldn't carry on. Yeah, how dare they?
Yeah. But here he is. He's with us tonight, Bob McCall. He's here. Welcome, sir.
Can you come and clean up Croydon for us? It's a bit of
that might be beyond the Equalizer.
Can you clean up Heathrow Airport? I mean, it's not very nice around here. I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff going on.
There's a lot of low-flying aircraft.
Yeah.
So, because let's have a look. Where's my notes? William Zabka, that's it. Scott McCall.
Yes.
He's only in a couple of episodes each season, isn't he?
Yeah, he's sort of a recurring character, McCall's estranged son, who he tries to reconnect with. And, about sort of 17, 18 episodes, I think it was. Yeah. And I think it would have been just after the first Karate Kid, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, would have been.
So, he turns up. says, "Daddy, Daddy, you don't love me," and then he has to go off. McCall has to go off and save someone, and then his son sees him and respects him.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was an ongoing relationship, an ongoing recurring storyline. That was probably one of the things that was sort of keeping the episodes connected. Yeah, him and also McCall's old associate Control from the agency. He was like the other ongoing recurring character.
Yeah.
Robert Langston.
Yeah, he had a love-hate relationship with.
Oh, yeah. So some of their scenes that they chewed up, Edward and Robert were just brilliant in those scenes with, McCall and Control. You always hear about, you owe me for this, or I haven't forgotten about this debt, or this vendetta. There's a black past between those two, and you don't really sort of hear about it. You sort of just hear through their stories, which I think kind of works, because if that was done now, they would like hire young actors to play it all out for us, but we don't know that. We hear their dialogue, and that's it from the past.
You don't know what you don't want to see this. What happened in the sewers of Pakistan?
We don't need to know. Yeah, this does it for us.
I think. Oh, hi, Luke. How are you? I think the movie came out in 2014. Was really good. It was really good, but was it The Equalizer?
I haven't seen it. I still haven't seen it. I mean, I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer and looked at it and thought, well, okay, fair enough. They're trying to remake it, but I was just like, nah. Denzel, I love you, but you can't beat Edward Woodward. I mean, I might give it a shot at some point, but if it's on television, I might give it a go. But I just want to know that with the film, do you think if that character was given another name and the film was called something else, would it be exactly the same? Yeah. Did they really need the Equalizer name to tap onto it? I don't know. I mean,
well, because he only has one case that starts because it's a pilot, prequel, sort of how he becomes the Equalizer.
Okay.
But he doesn't use a gun,
right?
So that's an opposite straight away.
Yes.
But then he does kill everyone. So it's like John Wick if he didn't have a gun.
Yeah.
And use whatever's around him.
Okay. I mean, I might give it a go if it's on television again. I'll keep an eye out for it. But I'm in no rush, and I'm not going to lose any sleep if I don't watch it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the second one, you're not missing anything because that's. Do you know Jack Reacher, the two Jack Reacher films?
Yes.
And how the first one's a thriller, and then the other one, sequel's more of an action-related.
Right. Yeah.
That's how they did the Equalizer. They all sort of set that up.
Okay.
More actiony and a big shootout and big mission at the end, and but I think they turned it around again for the third one, but we will see.
Okay, right, yeah.
Oh, but Luke does agree. Nothing beats the original series. There you go.
Exactly. You can take 4 seasons worth, and you got. I got my McCall behind me.
Well, yeah, but they tackled a lot of stuff in there, didn't they? A lot of dark episodes.
Yeah, there's like police corruption. I'm just trying to
rapes in the train station, babies being kidnapped,
yes,
children being kidnapped and nearly getting killed.
Yeah, they deal with quite a lot of things. I mean, for Universal, this was a much darker show compared to anything else we've spoken about so far. They did sort of go places where other shows probably wouldn't, No. And this was always broadcasted much later, wasn't it?
I was going to say, it's 9 p.m. after the Watershed.
Yes.
On ITV before the news.
And the first 2 seasons are still rated 15. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't I only made it near the end of season 2. I never got to finish it, but
yeah.
Right, let's have a look. Oh yes. Well, there's plenty of people in it. He's buggered off. Telly Savalas was in. Yeah, I was surprised when he popped up.
Yeah, he's in the season 3 premiere called Blood and Wine, which is like this had like its own individual release. This is like sort of the big sort of movie feature episode that they did.
Yeah,
and it's not a bad one, Blood and Wine, and I think this had a CIC video release as well.
Yeah, I never had any of the VHS.
Yeah. There was, I think there was like 2 releases from CIC Video, and then Universal Playback did a box set like the Airwolf and Knight Rider ones that I've shown, and I think that was it. And they didn't really sort of do any more of that. And then Fabulous Films came along and released the whole lot straight away. Yeah, so there we go.
How about he equalized the Met Police? If you know, you know.
Well, he does tackle dirty cops in one episode, which is really good. Which stars Will Patton, actually.
Yes.
One of the best episodes, that one.
Yeah, that was really good. How he gets them to turn on each other.
Oh yeah, and he injects with that hallucinogenic drug and then knocks him down, and then he's pounding him against the wall. That horrifying scene where he's like, "Oh my god, I do not forgive." Yeah.
Nos enjoyed the film, but is not knowledgeable on the show to know how much it was. There you go. Bob McCall says,
yes,
that's it. Keith Zababajaka did not get the praise he deserved. Yeah, when Edward had his heart attack, Mickey should have been taking his place, but yeah, they brought in Richard Jordan.
Yes. They did, yes. Unfortunately, yeah, Edward did suffer a mild heart attack. They finished season 2, and then they filmed Blood and Wine, which was like the opening to season 3. And then they had that hiatus. Edward went back home, and that's where he had this mild heart attack. And they wanted to keep it under wraps. And, it's very unfortunate. So they had to come up with a story where McCall had been abducted or gone missing. And then they had to bring in Robert Mitchum to sort of, be the main guy to look at it. And you expect that Costmire was going to be sort of put into the role of the Equalizer, but instead they bring in Richard Gage. So Harley Gage, played by Richard Jordan.
Yeah.
To sort of, fill in the void just in case Edward wasn't going to be up to it. So they had to sort of have a replacement in place. But happily, Edward was able to recover from it. And season 3 does suffer because of that, because they explained on the retrospective that they only had Edward for like a lot less time. They only had him for like 1 day for the 7 days of shooting, and they had to sort of, they didn't want to break him because obviously he was still recovering.
Yes.
And it took a while for him to sort of get back in the groove. And there's a few episodes that do suffer with the lack of Edward, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yes.
But it was just unfortunate Edward did have that heart attack. I mean, he said in that interview for the TV Hardmen show that it was just down to the fact that he was working up to 18 hours in a day.
They were.
Heavy smoker. Eating junk food, getting no exercise, and he had a heart attack, just simple as that. And he realised that to, start looking after myself. So, but luckily it was only a mild one, but still, heart attacks aren't, anything pleasant. So it did affect the show in some way, but only for like half of season 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember, him being on the news that he'd had the heart attack.
Oh, really? Okay. Remember that.
But probably because it happened in Britain.
Yes. Yeah. And it's very unfortunate that happened, but that's just stuff you can't predict.
Yeah, but they like you said, they sidelined Mickey. He said he only had about 10 lines in the whole time Edward was off. It was just like, what?
You'd think if they wanted to, have a replacement, Mickey would just be the obvious choice because he was way more established at that point, and McCall could have just said, right, Mickey, you got to do this, and have an established character rather than bringing someone else in, that we haven't really sort of connected with yet. And according to what Keith said on the retrospective, he did say that Richard Jordan didn't really enjoy his time on there because...
No.
Yeah. And he said, he was probably glad to get out of it. So, it is one of the show's black spots. But again, that's what happens when, medical issues rise up.
Oh, yes. They were.
Yeah.
Like he came back at all. So
exactly. Yeah. It could have been a lot worse. Yeah.
So yes, now CIC Video in the UK never released Equalizer series until Universal playback in the late 90s. CIC did release 2 rentals, and Germany had the pilot.
Okay, right, yeah.
So I never saw it.
Yeah,
but TV shows were very hard to come by back then.
Oh yes, yeah. It's like you'd get the pilot episode, and that was probably it for most shows. It was either television and that was it.
Yes, that was the pilot movie, as they'd call it.
Yeah.
It's like Highlander 3, or is it 2 episodes of Highlander, the TV series, that happened to feature Christopher Lambert? Yes. As Nos says, Freddy Krueger fan, this is a Equalizer stream, not Bond. So if there's time, we'll rank Daniel Craig's Bond at the end. Thinking about it though, Universal Playback had a mixed box of episodes. Oh, well, okay. I guess, like we said, you could just pick the best episodes, couldn't you? You don't need to. There's no arching story.
No.
Right. Edward and Robert Mitchum never really spoke to each other as they were never together in the scenes. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yes, they did have to sort of work around the two of them because Edward was on the limited time, and they had to sort of work it out that both guys are in the same scene, but they weren't in the same scene. They clearly marked that out on the retrospective, and you wouldn't know it if you didn't know. Yeah,
but apparently, Robert Mitchum, I should say, wasn't as active as even Edward Woodward was back then. But apparently, was it the story with the guns?
Yes.
Do you want to tell it?
Basically, was it the rule is that the guy comes up, he loads the gun, shows the actor that it's loaded, shuts it, gives it to them. Keith said, "Okay, I've got it," and then the guy did it to Robert Mitchum, but he didn't check the gun, and then Robert actually just fired it.
At his feet, I think it was.
Fired it at his feet and says, "Next time you'll show me that you've loaded the gun." Yeah, proper old school. Yeah.
But yeah, apparently, he was a bit half cut as well. I heard.
Mm. Yeah. Keith does talk about them sort of, going out to lunch or whatever, and then Robert orders like 7 shots and just knocks them all back. It didn't even affect him at all, Proper old school, yeah.
Yeah. Save the ice, give it to the poor people or something like that.
Yes, yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Yes. What killed him, I wonder.
Mm.
Oh yeah, done that one. Oh, there we go. Yeah, hang on, we'll get to that later then. If there's time. Yes, Freddie, no spam.
No.
That's quite a tangent. Bond, Equalizer to Bond. Did Fabulous release Did Fabulous release the set as Blu-ray or just DVD? And what is the quality like?
At the moment, these box sets are just DVD. There's no Blu-ray. The episodes aren't in the correct 4x3. They have been stretched, and it looks like they haven't been remastered. It looks like the same as the Street Hawk box set. They just look a bit grainy. I mean, I don't mind it, but it would be nice if they were cleaned up a little bit, to help with the cinematography of New York and certain scenes and whatever. But they're very standard. Yeah. But again, it's just nice to have all episodes. Yeah. Yeah.
But they're all on there, aren't there? There's none missing or banned or cancelled yet.
No, there isn't. No, not yet. So unless they're going to be banned or on any streaming services on Peacock, then I don't know.
Because I watched them, and to me they look fine because they're dark and grainy and not so colourful. But that's how I remember the show. Yeah. But if anyone,
I don't mind a bit of grain, and I don't mind that it hasn't been remastered because it sort of helps with the authenticity of it from the 80s. That's how it did look. So I don't mind it, but it would be nice if they were cleaned up like the Airwolf set was, to make them look as clean as they could. So, but if Universal they need to invest in that and they need to pay people to do it, and are they going to do that? I don't know. No.
Yeah, there's very few that they could be bothered for, isn't there? That would have the name recognition.
Yeah,
made the money back.
And I think the last time they were shown on television, I think these were shown on Legend as well recently, and the episodes looked exactly the same. They looked like the same print. Yeah, it didn't look like they were cleaned up on that.
Yeah, they just popped the disc in and pressed play, didn't they? At the set time.
They look the same on, when they were on ITV. They look the same when they were on Granada Plus. They've always looked at them. Yeah.
So, yes. So, apparently, was it Martin Shaw, who was from The Professionals, turned down the role of Robert McCall?
Apparently, yes. Yeah.
Yes, because... Well, isn't he the reason The Professionals wasn't shown on television for about 30 years?
I heard something about this, but I don't know what the real reason.
Yeah, I can never be sure.
I think there was something about him not being paid properly, like he was owed royalties for episodes being broadcast, or there was something that he signed and it wasn't honoured. Maybe it was something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because the other thing I heard that is he didn't like the violence and the way it was portrayed in the film, but I don't think he'd keep off the TV for that. Because, but whether they just mentioned his name in passing as someone that could be it, because he was been a lot younger than McCall.
Oh yes, yeah.
Woodward. Edward Woodward, yeah. Because he's in Hot Fuzz, wasn't he? Was that the last thing he did?
That's the last thing I saw him in, and I couldn't have been more happy to see him in that. I was like, I know. It was just nice to see him in one final big film, and it's kind of one song. I mean, I don't know if he did any other appearances after that, but yeah, that's the last film I saw him in. Yeah.
Any fun trivia about Control? Yeah.
Well,
I can't think of any.
Again, like McCall, a very shady past, and you don't really know much about. You only hear about what they're up to when they're actually engaging in arguments or agreements or debts owed or whatever.
Yeah, they're always owing each other favors, and then the side with square, and then someone else, either side will come back and say, I need a favor.
But as I said, those scenes were the highlights. Those two chewing up the scenery, and Langston coming on with his bow tie all the time.
Because because in the first season you got Sal Rubinek.
Yes, he's in for a few episodes. Yes, yeah.
And then the character disappears. It looks like he's kicking Control out and taking over the agency or whatever they're supposed to be, and then suddenly he's gone.
Yeah, that was a bit of a story arc for a couple of episodes in that first season, and yeah, it was good to see him show up because he's a very fine actor. He's done loads of TV shows since then.
He's
one of my favorites.
Good.
Yeah,
because it looked like he was going to be a nemesis throughout the series, but then just didn't get mentioned again.
No.
When you say stretched, it is incredibly obvious, or is it passable?
It's passable. You can still see everything. Yes, yeah.
It doesn't look weird.
No, it doesn't. No.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's the best you're going to get, basically.
It's the only thing you're going to get at this rate. DVDs are not dead. DVDs are not dead. Get them.
No, they've still got some worth. Tell CEX that. Oh, talking of it, I'll come back to you in a second, Dr. Impossible. They did. Is it the only DVD box set that you've got?
You can get them individually as they are on the shelf, or you can get them as one big set. Yeah. I've still seen them. I've still seen them in HMV. They're still available. You can still get them on Amazon. You can get them through Fabulous Films themselves. They're easily available. They're not out of print yet. So,
not out of print yet.
No.
After the show, they might be. Universal put out a complete Series 1 app. Then they just left it. I was waiting for more releases, maybe rights issues on Universal's side.
I think there was, I do remember the playback one. I did actually get it, but then once Fabulous Films got it, I just got rid of that and just bought the whole lot straight away, because these box sets look much better on the shelf because they're all got the same spines and they're all as they should be, so yeah. And I do remember there were a few sound issues on that playback one. I remember there was 1 or 2 episodes that had missing music or something, but apparently that's all been fixed on the Fabulous Films ones,
That is the biggest issue with 80s TV shows. They always had big hits of the film from the charts in them, and then the people became famous and wanted their rights back.
Exactly, yeah.
So you can't just let them have it. What's Bob say? Martin Shaw went on to detail that he believes the producers deliberately timed the shooting schedule so he missed out on other projects. There you go.
Okay.
Now the truth is out. Thank you, Bob.
Interesting.
I love The Professionals. It was a great show. Another one was Watershed.
Yeah, I do need to try and give that another go because I wouldn't mind seeing the uncut episodes because the ones that are on TV, they're always edited and, they're not really the true versions. But I know there is a recent Blu-ray from Network and they've remastered them properly and they're fully uncut. So might have to delve into that at some point.
Yeah, so I like. I love that show. They're just like this. They're good thrillers. 48 minute thriller. Done. Had Woodward not got the title role, who would have been suitable for the title role at the time? I think they weren't flashing many people around, were they? They wanted.
As far as I know, Michael Sloan has always said that Woodward was the only choice. Like if we can't get him, then we're not doing it. I think.
Yeah, that's the only one.
I'm sure they would have had other people lined up, but Woodward was the firm choice that he wanted from the start. Yeah. But no, I can't think of any other names that were mentioned. No. Because
they had a few people step in, like we said, but. So it was Callan from 1967. That was the Secret Service assassin that he played.
Yes.
But I've never seen an episode. I keep meaning to.
Yeah, I think what's that Freeview channel? It's called London Live. They've been showing a few of those episodes. And I'm pretty sure Network have the rights to that show as well, so they might be on DVD or Blu-ray. I'm not sure, but because some of those are in black and white. I think early episodes are in black and white.
Of course, yes, they are because it's 60. Yeah, bloody hell, 60 of course. So there you go. Network released a fantastic set of The Professionals.
That's the one, yes. I need to get my hands on that,
Austin watched this as a kid in the late 90s on the A&E channel. Not bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I sort of discovered it. I mean, I do remember it being on towards the end of the show in 88, 89. I remember ITV showing episodes. And then around sort of 93, 94, they started showing it again. And by that time, I was like 11, 12 years old. Insomniac. Can't sleep. I've got a TV in my room. What's on? Oh, the Equalizer. This looks good. Keeping the volume down on a real tiny television and watching it late night at like 11:30 on a Monday night.
Yes.
Just totally fascinated by it because I knew it had that Universal feel. Like this feels like the shows that I know and love, but this feels a bit darker and a bit more grim and a bit more nasty. And
it was definitely that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Although, which one? Because I watched the one with the horse racing and the kidnapped kid. And of course, he gets there. Somehow, he rescues the kids, speeds through the city, through the gates of the horse race place, and then straight to where the horses are starting to show that he rescued the kid.
That's it.
What a
Yes.
hero!
Yeah.
Because he's got a car phone, but he could have just phoned them and said, "Can you send a message out, please?"
Yeah.
Now, because William Zabka, Scott McCall, was supposed to have a spin-off series, but I don't know what the hell would he have done.
That's the first I've heard of that. I don't.
Oh.
He didn't record about it. He didn't say anything about it in the retrospective, and I haven't heard any information about that. I mean,
it's probably just one of those rumor things.
Yeah, Coleman Luck actually did say that there were plans to do a crossover with Magnum PI,
which never happened.
Thank God it never happened, because that's what he said. Yeah, they had this idea because both shows were CBS. They had this idea we can do this crossover, and he actually did write it. And then at the last minute, they decided, no, we're not going to do it, but we want you to take what you've written and we'll create a new episode around that. And that was the episode called Beyond Control, which was another good one. So, yeah. Yeah. But can you imagine Tom Selleck showing up in New York and Edward going to Hawaii?
But he did have a crossover episode with...
Oh, God.
Actually, it was several. And one of them was Equalizer Nemesis.
Oh, mine's gone blank.
Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, of course, yes.
And Simon and Simon, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because was it Magnum's character? Well, Magnum's sort character was in. Damn, that's drawing a blank again. James Garner in the Rockford Files. He had a character appearing there a few times, but then they used that similar character for Magnum.
Right.
Oh, it's too late in the day for this. Right, where did I get to? There we go. Are the syndicated episodes cut?
No idea. I mean, I haven't heard anything about them being edited.
No, I've not.
As far as I know, the DVDs are intact, and anytime I've seen it on television, it looks intact. I mean, obviously, if it's broadcasted during the day, it's obviously going to be edited for some things, but yeah, but
some of the episodes they wouldn't show, I'm sure, in the daytime TV ones.
No, I've never seen them sort of for daytime TV. Like anytime there's been a rerun, it's always been in the evening. I've never seen it broadcasted during the day. Yeah,
no, that's a good point. No. Yeah, the professionals I saw during the daytime stuff.
Yeah, and they are.
All right. Bring them right. I'm going to list off some of the character actors that have appeared in this.
There's a lot of big names in it. So I hope you're ready. I mean, I'll get the list up as well, just in case you.
Yeah, see what you got, because I got Stephen Williams, who played a cop.
Yes.
In the first season, who disappeared. Yep. Right. So there we go. And then people that were randoms: Joe Morton, Anthony Zerb, William Atherton, Sal Rubinek, Tobin Bell, Tom Atkins, Vincent D'Onofrio. Did he play two parts?
He played two different characters.
Yes, one special needs and one a nasty bastard.
Yes, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Michael Parks, JT Walsh, Fred Williamson, Telly Savalas, Timmy Capello, he still believes, who was was it a roadie or something in an episode? Laurie Metcalf, Patricia Clarkson, Dan Haley, Robert Darby, Paul Gleason, John Goodman, what did I get to? James Remar, Burt Young, Christian Slater, Jennifer Grey, William Sandler, Kevin Spacey, John Hurd, Ed O'Neill, Michael Rooker, Stanley Tucci, Jenny Agutter, Ving Rhymes, Tom Noonan, Pat Engel, Will Patton, Keith David, Lawrence Fishburne, and Brad Dourif. That's as far as I got. And I got tired hands.
I know Melissa Joan Hart was in an episode when she was a lot younger. Yes, that was another one. Tom Atkins, plenty of other familiar faces that you know their face, but you can't remember their names. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, you've pretty much mentioned all the big hitters there. Yeah, way before their time. I think Burt Young from the Rocky films, he was in one episode. Yes. Just trying to think anyone else.
Yeah. There was
Dean Norris was in an episode as well.
He's always in stuff, isn't he? Back then. He's probably been in every episode we've mentioned of these.
Christine Baranski, I think she was in one.
Oh yes, that's what I missed.
Yeah. Still going through the list. It's massive. Blanche Baker, she was in one. I forget the actor's name. He was the mayor in Ghostbusters. He was in one.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, David.
Something. Mr. David something.
Yes. Who else? I'm just quickly scrolling through. I suppose because it was in New York, all these heavy hitters were there, just trying to get any job they could. And yeah, it's either Los Angeles or New York. That's where the stop-off point is for actors. You're either based there or you're based here. Yeah,
probably theatre actors by night, and then doing an Equalizer during the day.
Yeah, an actor.
But Christian Slater, was it pre-anything? Was it? Yeah, probably one of his first early roles where he's got short blonde hair.
I think it was before Heathers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been
second season, wasn't it?
It might have been just before Gleaming the Cube, or maybe just after that. I don't know.
I think it was probably before that. Just before Name of the Rose, maybe.
Mm.
But he played a kid. They stole a hearse, but then found out it was full of drugs.
Big mistake.
Oh, crackers.
Alex Winter was in the episode as well. Yeah. And our good friend Al Long, he was in one as well. Yeah.
Yes. I didn't see Gerald Okanora in there, but
yeah. And I like on IMDb for Al, it just says Chinese man, uncredited.
Racist people.
Kathleen Lloyd, she's another sort of Universal regular. Oh man, it's a big list. I think we've covered most of them. Yes, I think some pretty heavy hitters there.
Yeah. There is people that were famous and a lot of well before they were famous.
And also, it's just remind me, Michelle Dautrice as well. Edward's own wife was in there.
Oh, Betty she Spencer. Wasn't she?
Yes. And that was nice to see them on screen together. Yeah, another good episode.
Yeah, because often he had a lady back at his flat and then had to go out because of an emergency and never seen them again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A better crossover would have been with Beauty and the Beast, which also took place in New York. Someone write that comic book now.
It could work. Who knows?
Yeah, I never watched Beauty and the Beast. I remember seeing the trailer saying, "Oh, it's on tonight."
I remember it, but never really watched it. Yeah.
No,
I remember Ron in all that makeup, and it was just
I can't remember. Did they solve crimes in their spare time, or was it just a romance thing? Because it went on for a few seasons.
Yeah, no idea. No.
Miami. Miami Vice being crossed over with Magnum PI would make more sense. Yeah,
it would have. But I think those were different networks, weren't they? So I don't think it could have happened.
Yeah, I guess they're different sides of the country as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah.
Yes, Stuart Copeland, best TV theme ever.
Quite possibly, I would rate it very highly. Yes, Stuart delivered an absolute pounding score, and the music for the series as well. I mean, he didn't do every episode, but
no, I did see that his name changed every few episodes.
Yeah. And he did talk on that Top 10 TV Hardman. He was interviewed for that as well, and he talks very fondly that Woodward having so much presence on screen that every time he would do the death stare, Stuart would do the death chord.
So for those that don't know, who was Stuart Copeland before the Equalizer?
Well, we know, but does anyone know?
Are we going to tell anyone?
Yeah, the drummer for the Police. Yeah,
yeah. But then he's doing a synth score.
Mm.
I guess he did the.
Probably, yeah. but yeah, he talked very fondly about doing the score, and he said, Woodward had a lot of presence on screen. That he even said that he could have been wearing a tutu and still been threatening. That's what he said. Yeah.
Well, is that one story on the documentary where Edward was fighting with the producers about this big speech he has to give?
Yes.
In the Polish-Russian bombing episode?
Yeah.
And I mean, he did it, and it was amazing. One long speech.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the reason why he didn't want to do it.
I think Keith said it was sort of not within the character, or it doesn't really sort of resolve anything or mean anything. But
I guess it's a long speech. Plus, they're off to stop a bomb. So
yeah. But he nailed it when he said that speech.
He probably did it in one take. Thank God, Fabulous put up the correct picture ratio on Universal's Invisible Man series. Is that the 70s one with the man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah. The Blu-ray disc from the States were told they stretched the picture. Yeah. As people complained with The Simpsons when that went on Disney Plus, didn't they?
I never noticed.
Oh, Diagnosis Murder and Quincy. Oh, get Quincy on there straight away. I'll watch that. Maybe in a few years when we get to the 70s after doing the 80s and 90s, we'll get to Quincy.
I was born in the 70s. Yeah,
go away.
those ones, yeah.
I'll have to find another old man.
Yeah.
Discuss Quincy with me. Yes, Queen Latifah's the Equalizer. No, nothing.
I haven't seen it, and I don't know where it's broadcasting, to be honest. I mean, I don't think any channel in the UK has shown
That's a
any
good
yet.
point. I saw the pilot episode, but it's just one of those generic TV shows where she's got a team of people.
Yeah.
And then uses them every week, and it was just wasn't as interesting. I only watched the first episode, but I couldn't be bothered.
I haven't seen it advertised anywhere, so I've got no means of watching it. So
seeing Queen Latifah peel away on a motorbike was
okay.
A bit of a stretch.
But no, can't comment.
But yeah, it's on to its third season now, I think.
Okay.
So she's doing something right.
Yeah.
There you go. One episode was removed from the rerun on Forces TV because Kevin Spacey was in it.
How dare
he's in everything in the 90s. How are you gonna?
Yeah.
Can't not show the film because he's in it.
Yeah. I mean, I knew Forces TV was showing it, but I had no idea they didn't show that one. Yeah.
Unless he's playing a bastard. There are beautiful transfers produced by Network of the professionals. I have to hand it to the network. To Network. Their restoration team has done incredible work, especially films from Corda and Rank Films.
Yeah, I'm also hoping that Network give Dempsey and Makepeace the proper restoration as well, because that hasn't been done yet. Yeah,
that would
hopefully that's in the pipeline at some point, because I really want to get the uncut episode. I mean, I've got the other DVD box set of the standard episodes as they are, but it would be nice if they were cleaned up and completely uncut. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, good look at London in the 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's probably a long list of shows, isn't there? Stretched as in not in 4:3 ratio, yes. Because people complain when it's in 4:3 and people complain when it's stretched. So
yeah.
You just have to press the button on your TV to auto stretches for you. When the professionals relaunched the 90s, look who Brian Cannon's hired for. Of course, I remember that now.
It didn't last very long. It was only on for 1 year, I think, and it was on Sky One, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I remember that now. Bloody hell.
And if that'd been on ITV, it probably would have been more successful. The fact it was on Sky One, big mistake, because not everyone has Sky, and it's stuck behind the paywall. Not everyone can see it. Yeah. That was probably the show's biggest mistake. Yeah.
I guess they were thinking people would get Sky to watch it.
Yeah.
But back then it was a reception.
And I don't think television had gone quite digital at that point. So it wasn't accessible for everybody, and not everyone wanted a dish on their house at that point. So yeah.
Apparently, Edward Woodward's resting place is Padstow in Cornwall. So.
Yes, that's where he resided for many years. And I think between filming, he would go back there, and I think that's where he's lived for pretty much most of his life. Yeah, yeah.
He was married to. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think that's where they interviewed him for that top 10 TV Hardmen. I think that was at his home in Cornwall because it was like right by the beach and a lot of nice scenery. So yeah.
Yeah, so he was married to Michelle Dottris.
Yes.
Who was Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, wasn't she?
Betty Spencer, yes.
Yeah, that's I didn't recognise it until I saw the name written down. So yes, he was nominated. Did he actually win a Golden Globe? He was nominated every year for the 5 years.
He did win in '87. Yes, he won a Golden Globe. Yes.
Yeah. Because he kept getting beaten out by Bruce Willis for Moonlighting. But
unfortunately, and they do say on the retrospective that the fact that he didn't win an Emmy was a major disservice. He deserved an Emmy at least. He was nominated for Emmys, but he never got an Emmy. Yeah, but a Golden Globe is probably the next best thing. So
there's some Sky Witness. Is there a new channel? I haven't had Sky for years.
I haven't had Sky.
Showing the new English. Yeah. Yeah. Still got the dish. It's too high to take down. Not falling off a ladder just to remove a dish. If people knew the truth about a lot of these TV stations would have to remove everything. That is very true.
Nothing would be on.
Yeah, there would be a couple of children's programs, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, any actor's probably got something.
Yeah.
It's because Kevin Spacey was on trial at the time. All right.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
You think people actually check the programs before? So, oh no, we just showed something with Kevin Spacey in.
But someone obviously was checking it, but Forces TV was so low
have a
down
team of lawyers these days, don't they?
Yeah.
See
It was, it was so low down the preview list. I don't think anyone really checked for Forces TV.
Yeah. They only show stuff with what was it? No, I can't remember his name. The comedian, stand-up comedian. No, did. Yeah, the snooker game show.
Oh, Jim Davis.
Jim Davis, yes.
Yes.
There we go. Then right, what were McCall's main weapons?
A lot of guns. The voice, guns. Probably he had like a knife that he would shoot that would like stab someone.
Oh yes.
And I know that's how he took out one bad guy played by Adamant in one episode.
That's who I left. I meant to add him. I thought because that's the time he was doing his acting. Because obviously he was in Sledgehammer, he was in Equalizer.
Yeah, he was playing some sort of trafficker.
Oh,
a real
game, wasn't he?
Yeah,
doing sex tapes and stuff like that, wasn't he?
Something like that. Yeah, not bad performance actually. Yeah,
yeah.
He did have the chops for it. Yeah,
yeah. He was.
So yeah, I remember the knife. I remember one scene he actually used his belt to strangle someone. Yeah, yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah. But he was very sort of swift and quick with like, one stab and that's it, dead, or one shot, dead,
Yeah, he was an excellent aim. The guys would be shooting from the rooftops, he just go bang.
Yeah. And I guess his main weapon was intimidation, just the way he would scare the living daylights out of these bad guys was just brilliant, yeah.
It was. He could just talk them out of anything. He was using threats, didn't he, to ruin their lives after it rather than kill them.
I mean, particularly in the first episode where he gets the guy that's stalking the woman, like he tracks him in the phone booth and then he's got him pressed up and saying, "Leave the lady alone," and puts the gun right to his head. He's like, "Please don't hurt me." Like, make them piss their pants. Yeah, it was just so
it didn't
compelling.
Work.
So compelling. And, from that first episode, you learn very quickly, you do not want to fuck with this guy. He will, he will get you. Yeah. He may look like a slump-shouldered old geezer, but, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Austin knows. He used a Walther PPK sometimes.
Yes, I remember now. Yeah,
0.38 PPKS apparently. But then I noticed in the second season he uses a Desert Eagle, which is massive to him. Yes, Moonlighting was a comedy, not a drama, so Bruce should not have won exactly.
Exactly.
I know there was a few serious episodes, but in general, it was a comedy.
Yeah.
So, who learnt their death stare from Edward Woodward?
I did hear. Now, Edward did confirm this himself on this TV Hardmen thing. He said that Schwarzenegger was a fan of the show.
Yes.
And he actually did meet him, and he was like, he actually did an impression of Schwarzenegger, and he came up to me, he said, "I watched you, the way you hold the gun. When I did Terminator, I was thinking of you." So, yeah. So yeah, Arnold was a fan of the show. Yes,
he was. I guess that was it in True Lies, that when he's in the jet plane at the end and he gives that. That's
yes.
You got to thank Edward Woodward for that one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Edward did say that he did meet him, and Schwarzenegger said, "I'm a fan of the show and I like what you do." So can't get a bigger compliment than that.
Well, exactly. Karen Young was great in Lady Cop episode.
Yes, that's the one we mentioned earlier with Will Patton with the group of dirty cops.
Oh yes, that was a good one.
Yeah. And just that final scene where he, as I said earlier, when he ejects him with the hallucinogenic drug, and he's like, "I do not forgive. I do not forgive." Just like.
Yeah,
it's just like, what? Just literally scared the bejesus out of him. And very compelling one. That
that was
dirty cops.
Yeah, he could have just gone in and shot him, but
that's not the British way to do things,
Well, that's what gets me. Every episode, the cops all know him. Yes, and they just let him on any crime scenes. Just come on in, look at this, help, and then he says, "Yeah, you."
Yeah, that was probably one of the. Yeah, that was probably one of the things that was like sort of a bit sort of unrealistic. Like, you're just going to let this random guy come in and just give you information, or let him see this, and it wasn't just with one cop; it was many cops. Obviously, Stephen Williams, Ron O'Neill. I think there was a British detective. I think no, not British detective. It was a lady detective later on in season 4. But
right,
yeah, but he was just always liaisoning with the police officers. And like, is this really allowed? It's like,
yeah, I'm gonna say after everything that happens in the episode, even when he does actually shoot someone, even if it's in self-defense, he'd be tied up in litigation for years.
Yeah,
he wouldn't be just back on the job the next day.
Yeah, I think there was another episode where I think Ray Sharkey is one of the sort of bad guys harassing this woman, and then the conversation comes, and he just comes in, boom, shoots him straight away. That's it, dead, done. Yeah.
No witnesses.
No witness. Yeah, was he defending himself? Possibly, but
Apparently, there's a blooper in that episode where was it Ray Sharkey's character is up somewhere and he's shouting at him, and he calls him Ray instead of the character name.
I mean, I can't find that on the episode. When he does confront him, he does say Dryden, which is like the character's name.
Yeah, I never noticed, but I wouldn't.
I didn't notice that, no.
But allegedly, maybe they changed it.
They might
fixed it in editing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see, Clarence Boddicker uses a Desert Eagle. Agent Smith, it's very used in a lot of films, but apparently real gun owners don't like it. It's very too fancy. Too massive, I'd imagine. Look.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, was he the Ghost of Christmas Present in '84's Christmas Carol?
I haven't seen that.
No, I'm going to try and think of which. I saw so many recent over Christmas, I can't remember who was in it.
Okay. I'll have to check that one out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody like the Bruce Willis movie Striking Distance? I do like Striking Distance. I saw that in the cinema.
Yeah. Very underrated Bruce film, that. Yeah.
I know they made it more action-y compared to the thriller it was supposed to be, but it's still good.
It is good, yeah.
Stephen Williams left the show to join 21 Jump Street.
Okay, that explains why he was only around for 5 or 6 episodes. Okay.
Yeah, because he did have a sort of relationship with that character.
Yeah, another great actor that's done so many television roles. X-Files as well, Mr. X.
Yes.
He did show up in the A-Team as one bad guy as well, which was funny. Of course he did.
Of course he did. Everyone did.
Yeah.
Jobbing actors and all.
Of course, yeah.
There you go.
Yes, that did happen, yeah.
I think I did watch Magnum. Magnum's another weird one where they cancelled it and then Magnum dies and then they brought him back, so they had to figure out a way to bring him back.
It was all a dream.
But we may get to that one yet. If it was a Willis movie, it had to be actiony back then. That is true, yeah. But then he did The Color of Night to get away from action and see where they're going. All right, where are we? Trying to see what else. Yeah, I think. Apparently, Edward Woodward was often approached in the street by people in need who thought he was Equalizer for real, and he had to have a pre-printed list of people to contact in different situations. Yeah,
on that TV Hardmen documentary, they do show like some behind-the-scenes clips of him signing autographs with a load of ladies, and one of them says to him, "Can you come and clean up Harlem for me, please?" He's like, "Well, I'd love to, but I can't."
Yeah, everyone spoke very kindly of him, didn't they?
Yeah, everyone on set said he was like a total gentleman, total professional. In fact, when Scott McCall, William, what's his name again? Yeah. Zamp. Yeah. When he met him for the first time, he literally came straight into the trailer and said, "You want to do some scenes?" And that was it, and he was like willing to sort of, let this young actor, be himself, and very welcoming and just very, liked by everybody. And Coleman Luck said that anytime he told a story, everyone listened. No matter what the story was, it could be a funny story. And also, Edward was a very good singer as well.
That's what I forgot to write down. Yes, he was. They're trying to work out how to get him in to sing in an episode.
Yeah. They were thinking, should we do this? But they thought this might be a ratings killer if we do it. So they never did. But Edward was a very good singer. Like, listen to, if you can find clips on YouTube, he can sing.
He did. He's a proper singer, wasn't he?
Yes.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So, he was in 88 episodes. So, how many were there? Does it say? I did 4 seasons. So, it was doesn't tell you.
No.
So, Mickey was in 56 episodes. Control was in 29. Jimmy, who is Mark Margolis, who was from Breaking Bad with his ding.
Yes, yeah.
He was only in 16 episodes, so it must have been the first 2 seasons.
Because I only know him from Pet Detective as the landlord. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that you, Satan?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's always complaining that he's getting divorced and didn't have any money, and his wife had taken all his money. And then the next minute, I think it was the one I watched recently, he got back together with his wife because he was depressed after the divorce. So he went to the bar where they met and sat in their seat, and she was sat in the seat too, crying. And
again, just one of his associates that were just telling these stories. We wouldn't actually see what was going on. We would just hear this story. Giving them depth of some sort.
Just getting to know them, because damn, who was when the people were being evicted from? Oh, it was the guy from The Thing. When the people are being evicted from the tower block, and then the gangs are patrolling the corridors to keep them down so they can get them all out to make condos. Yeah, he turns up and goes to live with the family for a while. Well, I don't think he comes back. But yeah, he had a lot of helpers.
Yes.
So Richard Jordan was in 10 episodes. I didn't realize it was that many. But yeah, there's not many people that just randomly turn up.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's different characters, though, which will always happen back then because no one expected you to remember.
Or watch every single episode. Not everyone could watch.
Yeah. You could never watch them back unless you recorded them, I guess. Oh, is that Stuart Copeland's CDs?
Or one of Edward's CDs? Did he?
Oh, Edward's CDs. Yes, that's what we're discussing. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I guess he was born in Cornwall. Died 2009 at 79 years old. So he did. He was in 6 episodes of EastEnders, of course.
Was he?
I remember seeing that advertised somewhere. That was. It says 2009, so
must have been one of the very last roles he must have done then.
Yeah, two episodes of The Bill.
Okay, don't remember that.
The Equalizer's on The Bill. But yeah, Hot Fuzz looks like the last film he did.
Yeah, the last major film he did. Yeah, that was very popular and well known. Yeah,
I'm trying to think if I actually. He was an episode of The Lone Gunman. Oh, there's a speech synthesizer. I was going to say I don't remember him in The Lone Gunman.
Okay,
but yeah, they go 13 episodes of CI5, The New Professionals.
Yes,
back in 1999. Bloody hell! I didn't realize it was that late.
Yeah.
Of course, he did the In Suspicious Circumstances as the storyteller. Remember that show? But yeah, he didn't. Apart from that, he didn't really have. There's it says that TV movies, Memories of Manon, The Mystery of Manon, based on the Equalizer. So, but they're probably just double episodes. He was in Christmas Carol with George C. Scott in '84.
Yep.
But yeah, I think he must have done more theatre work than films.
Quite possibly, yeah. I mean, because none of that's going to be listed on IMDb. So,
no.
Yeah.
So that's right. I was surprised Brian Clemens wasn't after. Right, the Equalizer. Clemens did venture forth into US territory back in the 90s with Jag. Oh, that was him.
Yeah.
Terry Nation wrote episodes of Columbo, I think.
Okay.
I never got into Columbo.
Not really. I mean, I've seen a couple episodes, but there's so many, and
yes,
it wasn't really sort of one of my favorites. I would always go to. I would just see the odd episode here and there, but yeah, there's so much of Columbo that I haven't even seen. Yeah,
I know. Well, must have he ran for 30-something years, randomly doing TV movies, didn't he? But the one thing I like a whodunit, but with Columbo, we know who done it from the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you just have to wait for him to go around and think, work it all out. Shout at the screen, it's him. Arrest him. Edward sung a little bit in 18 with a Bullet episode. But I guess, I guess he sang around his flat and stuff like that.
Possibly, yeah.
So how much does he charge to help people?
It's never really revealed. I mean, in the first episode, like for the woman who was helping out, it was just like $100, and that was it.
Yes.
She was willing to offer more, but he was like, just my fee. But his fee was never really explained. It was kind of like, out of the goodness of his own heart, or
it was like needful things. You do me a favor sometimes, because that episode with the cab driver that came into it once because he's helped a cab driver and said, just we'll call it even. If I ever need a cab, I'll call for you.
Yeah.
And he sets it up so the cab driver drives the spy home, or the suspect.
Yeah, I guess he was probably a lot cheaper than the 18.
But they never did. They ever collect their money, or did they just like
occasionally they did, but not very often. Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. How does the Equalizer fund this lifestyle, for a start? A new Jag every year.
Again, that's never really explained. I mean, he's got this plethora of weapons locked up.
Yes.
He's got a few cameras and a few binoculars and a few sort of sound devices to listen to. So I'm guessing stuff that he stole from the agency after he left. I don't know, but
and he's got his people he help him, and he always gives them something. I'm guessing for their time.
Yeah, again, it's never explained. It's just one of those things. He's just got all this stuff. That's
because if James Bond retired, would he be set for life, or has he only got money because? I guess stealing from other governments is good business.
Yeah, and apart from weapons and stuff, I mean, there was even he even had a separate safe house as well that was shown.
Yeah, he's got safe houses around the place. He's got that wooden shack where they go to have a father-son talk, and then ends up with a shootout.
Yeah, one of the few episodes that was sort of out of the city. I think that was probably the only time they did it. Yeah.
Because that's the one episode I remember probably the most of, was under siege in the sheds.
Mm-hmm.
It's just planting bombs and doing the old MacGyver stuff.
Yeah.
And they go, so he said to a child, to you it's free, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because there would often be like the main case of episodes, but now and again, between episodes, they would have like a slightly smaller case that he was dealing with on the side. And I think there was like this one kid that came up to him and said, these kids are bullying me, I don't know what to do. And he told you self-defense techniques to sort of defend himself. And it was like just a very sort of throwaway storyline, but it helped. He would still offer advice or still help out people. Even if it was the most minor things, they would still do that. And I think there was another episode where Reginald Vell Johnson shows up. I think he was a radio DJ, and he's like saying, I owe them money. What am I supposed to do? And he said, well, you signed a contract. What do you want me to do? He's like, well,
that was it, yeah.
He's like, no, you're not in danger. You're fine. Just pay up. What do you want me to do? These sort of throwaway clients that would come in, and often you would hear him going through his answering machine.
Yeah, the answering machine message that he does, I don't bother with that one. And just stupid requests.
Yeah, there'd be like a woman saying, hello, Equalizer. I need your help. I went out with this guy the other night, and I went into the bathroom, and I can only see my reflection. Shut up, don't care. And there'll be another one saying, hi, this is Mark Peabody from the New York Herald. I'll be very interested in doing a story on you. Who are you? No, don't care. Just that one, Stuff like that. You just have to say, who would want that phone every day? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He goes through a lot of people he doesn't take clients.
Yeah, just ignores. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the weirdos.
Hmm.
Didn't he tell people to donate to a charity of their choice? I think
occasionally that happens.
He varies stuff, didn't he? I guess just to make them think they were doing him a favor back.
Yes.
Yeah. It cost him tens and hundreds of thousands, some of those jobs.
Yeah.
But he has got a very dark past, hasn't he?
Yes, and again, I just like how it wasn't really elaborated on. It was only just told in story form, between him and Control. No flashbacks, no sort of, explanation as to what happened or why this happened or whatnot. You just hear about it, and, you get to fill in the blanks yourself.
Yeah. So
that was one of the show's strengths. Yeah.
Yeah. He's quit the agency because of all the bad stuff he had to do, and then trying to do some good in the world for what he's done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it didn't need flashbacks and everything.
No.
Hey, Sophie, how are you?
Hello, Sophie.
She's starting a new channel. There you go. Good for you. I'll see that soon. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Yeah. Was he the original blonde douche from?
Well, last time I watched
everyone,
Daniel was the douche, wasn't he?
Every 80s film had a blonde rich kid douche, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, Sophie's only seen the movies, you see. She liked those, so they are pretty good.
Yeah.
But if you like that, you should watch the TV series if you can ever find it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what's it? 88 episodes, 90 something episodes
Mm-hmm.
at 45 minutes each.
Yeah.
Might take a while.
Yeah. I mean, but it's a very easy watch. They're not exactly hard to get through.
No.
Even if you do like one episode at a time, it can fill in an hour. Just to sort of watch one random episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what television needs to get back to, rather than sort of having every episode connected. So many shows today are obsessed with an ongoing storyline to get to somewhere, but just tell a good story. For one episode here, watch this one. This is a good one. That's it. End of story.
Yeah.
Next one. Yeah.
That is very true because it sort of started. Was it in the 90s? I guess where they had the American TV shows had a break halfway through, and then they'd have. Well, I guess the first time it was end of season cliffhanger, and then bring it up, resolve it in the first 5 minutes of the new series, and carry on. But then they did that with the middle episodes, and then just stretch it, and then you can't miss a bloody episode in case you miss something.
I mean, it's nice when you do get shows that have the episode of the week, but also have a recurring storyline as well. But it's a dying art, really. Every episode's got to be connected, and that could be a bit of a pain sometimes to me personally. I'd rather just watch a show that's got a bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. The Punisher just took money from drug dealers and funded his operation. Maybe the Equalizer did the same. I guess we never saw it, but it could have happened.
It could have happened.
A lot of the women he helped wanted a relationship with him, but as we know, that could not happen. No. But the one time he did hook up with someone, she got killed.
Oh yes, yeah, the old Charles Bronson
for a daughter. Was that the one with Dirty Dancing? Just Jennifer Graham?
I think she was in one episode. Yes, yeah.
I think, but so they swapped hats, and the mum got killed for it.
Yeah.
So be careful who you trade hats with. She's going to start a new channel under my old name, so it might be a bit confusing. No problems. A Hitchcock collab. Sure, I'll be there. Think for you, Sophie. Wasn't Woodward in the American show La Femme Nikita?
I don't know, but I do know.
I didn't watch that show.
No, I never watched that show, but I do know that Joel Surnow was a producer on The Equalizer, and then went on to do La Femme Nikita. And then went on to do 24 as well. He was like, a producer that's gone on to a lot of good things. So maybe he probably was, and Joel thought, let's bring Edward in for one episode, because he would have worked with him on this. So it would make sense if he did do one episode, but I've never seen that. No.
No, it's got Peter Wilson. I remember the film. I remember the film the remake. Oh, and then so there's this TV series, like you said, Joel Surnow's in 97 to 2001.
Yeah.
But then it was done again in 2010 to 2013.
Okay.
With, what's her face? Maggie Q.
Okay.
But I saw a few episodes. I never kept it up, as it were.
No, I never saw it on television. I remember Sky probably showed it, but again, a very limited run and not easy to find, Yeah.
But what was it Mickey was saying, or Mickey Actor, saying that his character could have been the basis for Jack in 24?
Quite possibly. I mean, because Mickey is an ex-Navy SEAL and does have a lot of skills. And, maybe Joel saw that character and thought, that could be a future Jack Bauer. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I would say Mickey could be Jack Bauer, Yeah,
it's definitely around that.
Yeah.
Hang on. No, it couldn't. About having a lady friend. Work always came first. His marriage failed because of it. Yes. And so did any other relationship. Yeah, he couldn't. He couldn't. Yeah, he didn't have time for ladies.
Yeah, and there was a daughter in Blood and Wine. It's revealed that there was a daughter as well. Yeah.
All right, you take care, Joan. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, cool.
You message me when you're ready, Sophie. No problem. Right. So, I think that's all I have now. I think we've made people go and watch this.
Yeah. I mean, really, for me, just very fond memories of watching it, late night on ITV. That was the prime time to watch The Equalizer, at a time when I shouldn't have been watching it. Yeah. The glory days of having a television in your bedroom, a little tiny television, and sort of staying up and watching.
Oh yes, a 12-inch, as it were.
Yeah. And then just catching it again on Granada Plus a few years later, and finally getting to see all the episodes on DVD.
Yeah,
and also remembering it originally around sort of 88, 89 when it was on Thames Television at that point. So yeah. It did feel like, the show that I shouldn't be watching, but it's from that same mold of Universal shows that we've already talked about. Yeah. Yeah.
I can see you, Nos. What's up? What have I missed? I can see your messages to Sophie.
Yeah.
I just ignore them. But yeah, so hang on. Before we wrap up, let's rank the Daniel Craig Bonds. How much is it? 5, 6, 5?
5.
Yeah. So, go on then.
Oh, boy. Okay. Do you want me to go 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
Whatever you want. Which one?
Best one, Casino Royale.
Yep.
Second best, Skyfall.
Yep.
Third best. Oof. This might be controversial, but Quantum of Solace.
I do enjoy that one.
Yeah, because
Okay,
it's a good follow-up from Casino Royale. And then I'd say No Time to Die, and then Spectre.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I had it. Yeah. There we go. Let's see. Freddy Krueger fan says, number 1, Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Number 2, Skyfall. Oh, number 3, Spectre.
Okay.
Number 4, No Time to Die. Oh, and he's gone.
I think we can assume what's number 5, yeah.
I think we can assume it's Quantum, yes. So there we go. So, right. So next month, if you want... Oh, hang on. When you had to wait a whole week for a next episode, yes. And then if you weren't out or busy or missed it... That's
the glory days of missing episodes on television.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. One more. Rank the George Lazenby Bond films.
I don't know.
Number 2, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Well, technically, he did Bond characters in a lot of his other films in the 70s and 80s, didn't he? But unofficially, he's like nicknamed JB or something in some of his films. I don't rate Craig personally, but I enjoyed White Sword. Yeah, that's all right. That's pretty much. Now we've got to wait another 5 years for another one. Oh, I picked up the entire Thunderbird set for £6. Bloody hell. They still hold up. They're pretty good action shows.
They are, yeah. I've been watching a few of them on ITVX, and they're still good fun. They're
bloody puppets, and you're oh, this is great. Look at this action.
It's a timeless piece. I've always got time for Jerry Anderson stuff. Always.
Yeah. I think I grew up on Stingray more than Thunderbirds. Right, where do I get? You only got so far before the spam filter. Oh, never mind. We'll catch him next time. Lazenby was a great Bond, yes. He tried. I think he's in the middle somewhere for me.
Yeah.
Although they're all good in their own right.
Do you think Edward could have been a good Bond?
Ooh. He could, yeah, he probably could have been a good original to the stories Bond.
Yeah. Obviously, this would have been 60s or 70s, during Connery's tenure. But, I mean, maybe by the time Roger Moore came around, maybe Edward was a bit too old at that point, or maybe not as well established, or not physical enough, or not.
Yeah.
Because,
for the running scenes in Equalizer, they had to use camera trickery.
Yeah, there were a few times you can see the stunt double when, Edward's like, no, I'm an actor, I'm not a stunt double. But there's a few sort of punch-ups where you do see the stunt double, and it's just like, no. But, that's the way it was made back then.
Some tall, thin man pretending to be Edward Woodward.
With a grey wig on, yes.
White wig, usually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They weren't that...
Yeah, and it was the same with the Jag as well. Sometimes you would clearly see a different guy driving the Jag through New York. Yeah.
I wouldn't want Edward Woodward doing 80 down New York streets.
No.
I don't think he's got the reflexes.
No.
Right, I'll just mention, I have announced, it's Baywatch next month. If I'm not blind, this time next month, we'll do another show.
It will be a very short stream because there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, what is it? It's 11 years. Few cast members of notice. Yeah. What was
I
it?
mean, I'll say right now, before we do get into that, I will say the first series is actually quite good.
Yes.
I'll give it that. Yeah, before it was cancelled and before it went on to something else. But yeah, there is some depth on that first year. But yeah.
There is actually some life-saving and not investigating drug cartels or whatever they end up doing.
Yeah. And as you've always said, anything with the Hoff is good.
Well, exactly. That's gold.
Yeah.
He ruled the 80s with Knight Rider, 90s with Baywatch. I don't know what he did in the 2000s. What did he do?
Baywatch Nights.
Don't talk about Baywatch Nights. We'll talk about the Malibu wedding. That's as far out of Baywatch as we'll go.
I never saw that one.
Nor did I. I think they had their clothes on in that one.
Yeah.
But, all right. We'll just catch up on the last of these. Favorite Lord of the Rings. Hello, Stephen. I don't know, because when I rewatched them, I didn't enjoy them as much. But maybe it's because it was 12 hours.
Yeah, I need to watch them all again. I mean, if I was to sort of, pick one, it would probably be Fellowship of the Ring, I'd say. If I was to pick one, right now, it would be the first one. Yeah.
No, same as Nos.
Yeah.
In order.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they are an effort to get through now because
they are, yes.
Extended cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Hobbit.
I never.
Yeah, I never enjoyed The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Lazenby was a great Bond.
Yeah.
Timothy Dalton was the best Bond.
Mm.
He should have had a third one at least.
At least, yes. Yeah, he deserved the trilogy of films, yeah.
Boob Watch. It wasn't just Boob Watch, Nos. There was asses as well. And I'll have to ban the word camel toe.
Yeah. There was a plot of some sort, yeah.
Well, yes, we'll try to discuss that. Get AJ as a guest for Baywatch. He says he doesn't know Baywatch. He's got the entire series on Blu-rays or whatever it was, but he hasn't watched them yet.
Yeah.
So, yes, Baywatch. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Dr. Impossible? No one. It's a very lowbrow show.
Yeah, I only have the pilot episode on the uncut VHS. There's 5 seasons are on ITVX as we speak. So that's
that is true. Is it only 5? I'm nuts.
Yeah, not all of them are on there. Only the first 5 are on there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's not like I'll be able to manage that many in a month.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Hoff's in all of them, isn't he? Yes. The Hoff. I saw him in Panto, so there we go. Beat that. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for Ben for joining me as usual.
Pleasure. Yeah, good to look back at this show. And if you've never seen it, check it out. It's a good watch. There's a lot of compelling stories, a lot of good actors, a lot of good writing. And if you need 45 minutes to kill some time, stick on the Equalizer and just enjoy Edward Woodward being a badass. Yeah.
Yeah, any episode, because you don't need any introduction.
Nope, you can stick on any one and you'll have a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. All right. Thanks for everyone. And what am I going to... Jay Harang is doing his first live show in 10 minutes on his channel about Star Wars. Oh, he did watch some. There you go. He watched some Baywatch. Only some. There is a kids show. And Mike, the Real Fifth Beatle, is live at midnight, I believe. So there we go. Check those out if you're around. And so that's good night, everyone.